Have you ever come back from vacation feeling like, I need a vacation from the vacation and a miracle to catch up on all the business that has transpired or not transpired while you were away? You are not alone. And this episode is here to help when we return. Hello, 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 Mama. How are you? Welcome to the Making of a Mompreneur show. I am your host, Rashida Green, the founder of Get Reaching, the creator of Digimompreneur Academy, and the host of this wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to start, grow, and scale online businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. And we do that through coaching, content, and community. So if you are new to the community, make sure that you drop down hashtag newbie. If you are joining us live, hashtag live, and where you're joining us from. So if you're in Tennessee, we'd love to know that so we can see the how far and wide the reach is of our Mompreneur HQ community. And if you're watching the replay, we still love you. Go ahead and put hashtag replay. Go ahead, put it in the comments. We will respond and say hi to you. All right. If you don't already have your pen, paper, and digital device in hand, ready to take some notes, go ahead and get that while I talk to you about how summer is slowly winding down. The beach bags are half unpacked and the fridge is starting to get full again, and your calendar, it's starting to feel just a little more real. And if you're like me, then you might be wondering, how do I transition back into work mode without shocking my system? Because summertime is summertime. You're relaxing, you're winding down, you're chilling, and then boom, you're thrust back into, oh my gosh, is it back to school already? Because they start putting your back to school stuff out like June 1st or something. I don't even know. It just happens so fast that it's like, oh, it's that time of the year again. Yeah. You're trying not to get distracted by that. You're trying not to lose the peace that you found over your break. All these things running through your mind as, guess what? School conversations is about to happen. And if you are in some parts of the US, then school doesn't start for you until after Labor Day. If you're like me, school starts in August. How about early August? How about second week August? Like, they don't even let me have a whole summer around these here parts. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. But what I will do is talk about today's topic, which is wind down to power up, easing out of vacation mode without losing your flow, right? We've developed this flow. We are in this relaxed stage, and we're really talking about we're not talking about hustle today. It's not about hitting the gas and going full speed, right? But it's about easing back in with clarity, confidence, and a plan that honors both your purpose and your peace and respects the rest that you've had over the summer, the vacation that you enjoyed. Because just like your business needed rest, you needed rest, and now it needs rhythm. We need to get back into the flow. So if you're coming out of vacation mode and wondering what now, then this episode is for you. And we're going to get started with the post vacation fog is real. If you experienced it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been on vacation. So this is like from beach brain to CEO clarity. You got to get that transition going. And let's be honest, getting back into business mode after a break, nah, it just don't feel right. You may feel like you're off on your rhythm. You're staring at your inbox like, no, not today. I can't do it. Especially if you had out of office messages going. Not only do you get responses from emails from other people, or even those spam emails, promotional emails, but some of those emails that you get are actually those who are responding to your out of office with their out of office. So it's just clogging up your inbox, and you just looking at those numbers like, I don't want to do it. And you really just feeling overwhelmed with what to prioritize. What am I supposed to do first? All of this stuff is happening as you're trying to transition from vacation. And that's why I say this, that post vacation fog is real, because it just overwhelms you. You don't know where to start. You really don't want to get started because you're still in vacation mode, kinda. But you know what? It's really all normal and quite temporary. You'll get past it. What you don't want to do is jump back in with guilt and chaos or need to, "Oh, I got to catch up. I got to catch up." Instead, I want you to give yourself a graceful reentry plan. A graceful reentry plan. That means extending yourself grace from one, but also knowing that everything can't be a priority. Everything can't be done right now, and that you are in a transition mode from vacation back to from summer CEO to your CEO role. And so we're going to give you some things to think about as you transition back into CEO mode. And you can really just start with a CEO debrief. Yeah. What worked before vacation? What was selling? What was popping? What was not? And what do you want to bring into this next season? Next season being fall, next season being big sales seasons, being big income producing seasons. Think about what do you want to bring into the next season as you get into your CEO debrief. You want to then pick one priority. You may have a whole bunch of balls in the air, but I want you to pick one priority, one key focus, not five, not four, not three. Just one key focus that you want to focus on for the next 2 weeks. Something that's going to energize your business, but also something that you want to really focus on as you prepare for the next season. You use your energy window. So, wherever that is, and I think you may have already done that through some of the materials that we have in the Mompreneur HQ community or the Digimompreneur Academy, where you work in your highest, identify your highest energy time frames. And I want you to work in your highest energy moments, not on your busiest time blocks, right? So if you know that it gets hectic after 3 o'clock because between the bus pickups or the car rider line or dinner, and don't that's not going to be the high energy times that you may have energy at that time because you have all this work to do. But that's not going to be the opportune time to work on your business. You want to use your energy windows where if you're the early morning person, use that time in the morning that you have to be able to designate as your clarity moments and your planning moments. Those are the times that once you've identified, if it's between 2 and 3 while your baby's in and on nap, taking a nap, then that's your high energy time that you want to select. Okay. And then realize that you're not behind, because that can be stressful in itself when you're constantly thinking, "Oh, I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind. Oh, I didn't work for 2 weeks because I was on vacation." I mentioned it earlier. Let's not guilt trip ourselves for taking a vacation. It is needed. Rest is required. And so you don't want to guilt yourself for taking the time away, which is why I don't want you to rush full speed ahead into planning and getting back into CEO mode. I want you to take this time to a graceful reentry plan, because you're not behind. What you're going to use this time to do is to realign yourself with your business, your mission, your values, your goals, and planning for the remainder of the year. So, as we move from post vacation fog, we want you to think about resetting your workflow without the whiplash, right? We don't want whiplash. We don't want you going super fast and then giving yourself whiplash in the figurative or the literal sense. Okay, so we're talking about resetting your workflow and your rhythm, because you got to get back in the rhythm of the business. Whatever it is, the routine that you had, as long as it was working before vacation, you want to get back into that rhythm without overhauling everything, without the overwhelm. And so I'm going to give you 3 steps. I'm going to give you a 3-step reentry strategy. Now, we talked about graceful reentry. So we want to have this 3-step routine strategy to help you get back into rhythm. So number 1, I want you to reclaim your routines. So those routines that you were doing before you started. If it happens to be that you were starting your morning routine with intention, like with prayer, journaling, or a CEO check-in, right? Something that you're doing as a check-in, then feel free to continue that. You want to reestablish work blocks that match your current family schedule. So now summer schedule is a lot different from your regular, may look a lot different from your regular school family schedule or school schedule, right? Then I want you to review, then respond. Let's check your inbox, look at your tasks and your categories, review them, and then respond. So if it's urgent, if it's an opportunity, or if it's something that you just need to ignore, then you go ahead and do and respond however necessary. And remember that you don't need to reply to everything. Respond with discernment. Determine what actually is needed, what actually requires a response. We don't want you to act out of desperation. Like, I got to answer, I got to answer. Look at it, and look at your categories. Is it urgent? Is it an opportunity? Is it something I need to ignore? Those ignore ones, you can quickly move past them. If it comes from a certain person, if you already starred that person or whitelisted that person, and you want to make sure that you read those emails, then go right ahead and do that. And then, of course, whatever responses that give you an opportunity, like someone's inviting you to speak on their platform, or a co-host a live on Instagram, whatever that may be, those are the things that you want to focus on next. And then the step 3 is refresh. We want you to refresh your offers or messaging. Refresh your offers or messaging. So we talked about reclaim, and that was reclaiming your routines. We talked about review, then respond. That's for your emails and correspondence. And now we're refreshing your offers or your messaging. Go ahead and update dates, availability, reminders in your pinned content, right? So if you have content that has reference dates, if you have a scheduler and your calendar was blocked for vacation, go ahead and open that up. Check the availability that you've set up for the rest of the year or whatever the time frame that you're looking at, and make sure that you're addressing those things regarding your availability. Then I want you to create a short back to business post, right? So you've been on vacation, whether they knew it or not. And so we talked about that in our previous shows, where show up without showing up. So now you're back to business post or email letting your audience know you're re-engaging if you dropped off the planet. Hopefully you didn't, because we told you to show up, even though you're not showing up. And how to do that by continuing with your emails, flash sales, and promotions. So we talked about that previously. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch that episode. And which reminds me, if you haven't already, go ahead and comment and subscribe to our channels wherever it is that you're watching this show. Let us know that you enjoyed this show by subscribing to our channel or following if it's on Facebook or Instagram, and so that we know what types of shows that you like to watch. Okay, so now back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right. So now, as a bonus, I want you to share a what I learned on break reflection. And this is going to be like your personal stories, because those will be very good, powerful reconnection. Because people either haven't taken vacation, so they're living vicariously through you, or they have taken vacation, but they didn't have quite the same back as you, or the same experience as you. So they may have come back with taking a vacation, but it was just not what they expected, or it was too short, or they're feeling guilty about coming back. You share what you learned on break or what you did on break as a reflection, and then others will feel empowered to want to consider that for their next vacation. And also because stories help with social media. People like to be able to read stories and be engaged and feel like they're part of the narrative. So this is your business, and you get to set the pace, whatever that may be. So those 3 points would be to reclaim, review, and refresh. All right. Next, we're going to talk about from summer flow to fall focus. Can you believe it? We just celebrated New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but already we are heading towards fall. I'm a little early, and only because school starts so early here. So the conversation for back to school and back to business just falls in line here. But truthfully, the next season is fall, and you want to be able to get momentum, but make it manageable. So let's look at how we can plan for the future. Now, not to overwhelm you or get you stressed out because it's so early, but to give you vision and clarity. And fall is often a high growth season. People are refocused, they're back on schedule, and they're making decisions. So you want to be ready again, but not rushed. We said graceful reentry. We're not rushing into anything. We are taking our time to reclaim, review, refresh, and get ready, not rush. Okay? So here's some ideas on how to start building intentional momentum now, because once fall hit, it's like holiday season bonanza, right? Because you got all these holidays back to back, Labor Day, holidays that are federal and not federal, right? So we got religious holidays, but we have Labor Day, then September, then October we have Halloween, then November we have Thanksgiving, and December we have Christmas. So it's just back to back holidays, and you need to be ready. You need to be ready. You need to make those intentional moves in your business to get going. Now, what you can do to start out, create a 30-day mini plan. Something quick, brief, just 3 goals. What is it that you want to see happen in the next 30 days? Why? Because we're setting it up. You could go ahead and map out all the next 4 months, September, October, November, December. Go right ahead. But that's more of that's not what I'm asking for today, right? Because today is supposed to be non-stress, easy, graceful reentry. So I don't want you to stress about the whole year, the rest of the year, because that is a lot. Like I mentioned, it's 4 holidays. Oh, there's 4 federal holidays in the States, but there are plenty other little holidays in between there. I didn't mean little as in little importance. I'm just saying there's a couple of other holidays within there that people celebrate, but those are the 4 major ones for each month for the remainder of if you just start out with a 30-day mini plan with 3 goals on them and shoot for that, that's going to help you to move forward. You can pre-tease your next offer or promotion. So if you already started thinking about what you're going to do for September, then great. You can start pre-teasing that offer or promotion, whether it's I don't want to say a flash sale because you don't want to really promote ahead of time for a flash sale, too far ahead of time for a flash sale. But whatever promotion, new product launch, bundle, whatever it may be, you can start teasing those offers out as soon as August for September. Then you want to also reconnect with your community. So if that means going live, hosting a poll, share behind the scenes with your audience as you are re-entering into CEO mode, then that's an opportunity to do that as well. You can also decide what to leave behind. We talked about that in the step earlier, but not everything has to come back from vacation with you. Literally, there are some programs, some habits, some mindsets, and even some unnecessary stress that can be left right there on the beach, right there poolside with a little blow up air tube. Everything does not need to come back from vacation with you. Once you had your vacation, you are relieved of some of the stress of the day in, the day out. When you come back and you review what you've done and what needs to come back and what needs to get left, that there is a freedom in that. And so we want you to make sure that you're doing that, deciding what to leave behind, because as much as I like to hold on, sometimes you just got to let go. Let go and let God. Amen. Okay. But yeah, just know that the summertime and getting back into the flow is really like a bridge season. It's a place in between rest and acceleration, and it's not something to be taken lightly, and you should use it wisely. It's still summer, so we don't have to go full speed ahead. You just got off vacation. Hopefully, you did take an actual vacation, time away from your business. And if you still have some time planned for the summer, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. This conversation will be right here for you. You can always visit our YouTube channel at the Digimompreneur to be able to watch the replay. But yes, we want you to make sure that you're taking time out and giving yourself a graceful reentry from vacation. And we're talking about graceful reentry. Well, we're also talking about the peaceful pivot back to purpose, right? You don't have to choose between rest and results. You can have both. We talked about summer CEO, being able to take time off, being able to connect with family and enjoy life without the business load. We talked about how to plan out your summer plan so that you don't have to worry and be concerned while you're away. That you can still make money with your business by leaving an evergreen or vacation campaign going while you're away. We talked about all that. Now we're moving back into business, back into purpose, but also remembering that you can return back to business with grace. That's what we're talking about, this graceful reentry. We're talking about winding down to power up. We're taking a break. We're resting. We're getting rejuvenated. We're getting restored so that we can now power up and be ready to go for Q4. We want to be able to ease out of vacation mode without losing our flow. Because as you were on vacation, I'm sure you enjoyed time away. You enjoyed the sightseeing. And if you did a staycation, you enjoyed just waking up when you feel like waking up. Hopefully, you had that opportunity. And then just being able to enjoy the time away and be restored and giving yourself grace, knowing that this business I have is not another job. It is not something I dread going to and doing every day. This is my business. I'm going to give myself grace to take a break and take a rest, and I'm going to get myself back on the saddle. But no, we're not going from vacation mode or jumping on the saddle and going in like a dirt. We're not doing that. And guess what? You don't even have to earn your place back. Why? Because you never left it. You've always been a business owner. You've always been a CEO before you left for vacation, during vacation, and after vacation. So it's not like you have to really push yourself super hard to go. I got to go hard, got to go hard, hustle, hustle. You don't have to do all that. So, with that having been said, let's wrap this up. If you are here with us live or the replay, what we've been doing is adding what we call content upgrades. Normally, content upgrades would be something that we would do on blogs, but I'm trying something new, even with our mom live shows, making up a mompreneur shows. And so we're offering a content upgrade. So you can download my free back to business reentry checklist. It's going to include my 3-day reentry rhythm, some CEO reflection prompts so that you can think about what you want to do for the remainder of the year coming back from your vacation, and a simple planning template to ease into the next season. Now, if you DM me the word reset, then I'll send it to you right away. You're a CEO, but you're also an amazing human and a wonderful mother. And the way you come back matters just as much as the way you step away. Did you know that? So, until next time, I want you to remember your pace is your power, and God's timing is always better than yours, honey. It is always better than yours. Guess what? Because He's never late, He's always on time. Until next time.